What are we talking about today?
Is gaming an addiction?
What are your thoughts? What's going on, guys, and welcome to episode 2 of Post Thought. I'm Isaiah. We have Brent here and Solomon, and today we are going to be talking about, is gaming an addiction? So I kind of want to bring it back to the origin story of our, I guess, gaming career.
Career.
Our gaming career. So our gaming career. So let's do it this way. Let's go with Brent first, because I know you're kind of a hardcore gamer. I consider myself kind of a hardcore gamer.
I'm so passive.
And then you are kind of like a casual.
I'm a casual.
You're a cash.
He's a fucking
He's a casual. So
see me in the UFC, motherfucker. I got it.
So we're gonna break it down to our gaming origins. What got us into gaming? What were the first games we essentially played, and also what made it seem like, or what were the feelings that you were experiencing that made you want to play video games for long periods of time? You know, whether it's you're hanging out with your friends or having dope adventures, whatever the case may be. Brent, start us off with, what are your first games you ever played, and what got you into gaming?
This is interesting. I want to hear this. What was your first game?
Yeah.
Okay, so I consider myself a hardcore gamer, and
you don't gotta stare at. Yes, you say that like, fuck. I'm a hardcore gamer.
I'm a hardcore gamer.
Okay.
Can you feel that aura? You're intimidated by my hardcore gamer aura.
Yeah.
Anyways,
yeah.
So when I was a kid, probably like 4 or 5.
Dang, 4 or 5?
Yeah.
Way back, bro.
You started
the NES had come out already, so I actually got it from my godfather.
Okay.
So he got me an NES with a whole library of NES games. So
whoa, like a whole library. Like, how many games did it come with?
20 plus.
20 plus.
Yeah.
Wow, you
fuck. Before that, I was probably like gonna be like a genius or whatever. I was
a doctor.
I was gonna be a doctor, and then I got an NES with 20 plus games.
Thanks a lot, Godfather.
We out here. But yeah.
So what are your more favorite? Since you had 20 games, what were some of your favorite titles?
Of course, Mario.
Okay.
Like Kirby was definitely the first game I beat when I was like maybe 5. I got to the end, beat the last boss, and that has started my gaming roots. So
that was your first game. Your first game, would you say?
Yeah, I would say
experience.
like probably Kirby was probably like my first memorable.
So essentially, that is your very first single player game.
Yeah.
So what is your very first multiplayer experience? Whether it's MMORPG or like the N64 where there's 4 players, playing with their cousins or playing with your family.
Party.
Yeah.
So what was your first multiplayer?
Multiplayer, probably Street Fighter. My cousin had the SNES, and we would play.
Together.
Yeah. And then going from
never
there.
Mortal Kombat? Never.
Well, yeah, but
But
kids aren't supposed to be playing that game.
Shout out Shout out to who?
MK11 coming out with the violence and the gore. Shout out to your kids.
Shout out to your kids.
Yeah, going from there, I got a computer, probably played Counter-Strike, and then from there it's just all PC.
It was all downhill.
We used to all play.
Not downhill, up, not even uphill. What the hell? It just went down from there.
We're just going into other dimensions at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my origin
So
story.
what were some of the experiences that you experienced at playing those games that made you want to invest so much more time into it? Was it just to kill time? Was it just you were having so much fun with your cousins or your friends? What were some of the aspects of your video game origins that made you want to come back to play more?
In terms of like single player games, I think it's a great form of escapism. Like, I don't want to do with like homework or school. I just want to cool down. So I'll play a single player game. Just me and the screen. Just get away from like real life.
Just have that adventure, or have that like you said, escapism of being in a different place or a different world, escaping reality. Essentially.
Yeah, it's very interactive versus like TV, which you just sit down and you're fed all the multimedia.
Yeah.
I think with video games, it's more interactive. It's more you. And I think with multiplayer games too, it's interactive with another person. So that's how I got into competitive gaming, because of multiplayer stuff.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. You ever played Lion King on Sega Genesis?
Sega Genesis? Yeah, that game's fucking hard.
Dude,
like,
it actually fucking is.
Yeah.
It's fucked up, but it actually is. That and like, have you guys played like
hard.
Double Dragon in Nintendo or
That
Sega
game's
Genesis?
Yeah, Double Dragon is
Or
Sega Genesis.
fucking Double Dragon Battletoads on Sega Genesis. That's actually
shout out to Battletoads.
Shout out to
Battletoads.
All
So let's kind of sway this way to Solomon. What were your first video games that you played, and what were some of the gaming experiences
You don't
that
want
you
to know. You don't want to know the first games I played.
Well, how come?
I'm just kidding.
Okay. I was like, okay.
Let me think here, because it has to be on the Sega.
Okay, so
Okay.
while you're thinking, can I elaborate on mine?
Hit it.
Or okay,
Do
sure.
your thing.
So the very first video games, I guess I played, or my very first kind of calling it my own system, was the Nintendo 64. As a kid, we came from the Philippines, so I didn't have no idea what video games was.
Yeah.
So when I got here, my mom bought me a Nintendo 64. So I had an older brother, and we essentially, got the Nintendo 64 to play together because it's a multiplayer, and that's what N64 essentially advertised, was like, hey, four players,
Yeah.
play with your friends, your family, whatever the case may be. So like I said, the Nintendo 64 was my very first system that I got, and the very first game that we got was Mario Kart.
Hey.
Mario Kart was super fun. I remember, like, what you were saying was the whole escapism, and you're in another world where you could have fun, and you can't necessarily ride carts at the age of 6 or 7.
Yeah.
In the streets. You know what I mean? So like, I thought that was really cool.
You could, though.
You can.
Not legally. Not legally.
I was like, what? I was like thinking about it. I was like, can you?
I'm just saying you can.
Yeah. So so it was the Nintendo 64, Mario Kart. My family's fairly huge, so I had tons of cousins, and so having that 4-player aspect, it was kind of like a rotation, and it was different people playing all the time. So it was the competitive aspect of video gaming. Thank you, Mario Kart, for that.
Shout out to Mario Kart.
What about the Mario Party?
Yes. So like the Mario Party was
that
definitely
that destroys a lot of things.
yeah. No, so Mario Party was definitely the second kind of game that the whole competitiveness.
Yeah.
Oh no, that goes to another level. You see the evil in people when you play.
For sure.
No, like when you fuck them up and take their stars away, like you're an asshole. Why you just single me out?
You'd be so
Because I
mad.
can.
You'd be like so mad at your cousins or your brothers. You're
That's
just
what
like,
I'm
what are you doing? Why me? He's like, why are you picking on me when he has more stars? You know what I mean?
You're like, fuck
Yeah,
you.
because
What
fuck
do
you, Ace.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you gonna do? That's what happens.
So
That's life.
we're gonna go back to Saul, and then what are your first
So
videos?
my first games are literally the ones I just listed. Sega Genesis, Lion King, Battletoads, Double Dragon Battletoads.
It's a dose they have.
Oh, and fucking Spider-Man Separation Anxiety.
Dude, this is so funny because like you grew up playing beat 'em ups, and it's like
Yeah.
that's so much about you, Saul, dude. Like for real.
So I guess a little background about Solomon is he's really into like the whole fighting game scene, like UFC. Or
Not even fighting games, just fighting in general.
just fighting in real life.
Yeah,
That's
fighting in real life.
Solomon's life.
Like UFC, MMA. Like he's really into that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
But no, those are the first games. But here's the funny thing about all those games, right? I had those for years growing up. I didn't beat a single one.
Yeah, well, beat 'em ups are pretty hard.
Yeah, I know. They're actually, because Lion King's a bitch. Those bug tosses, well, because here's the thing though. I played over and over again just to do the first bug toss.
Yeah.
And to max out on the score if I could. That was stupid. Because I just get mad every time that I accidentally get the black fucking spider.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what you guys are talking about because I've never played Lion King on
Oh.
Sega Genesis. Like I said, it was.
Oh, I mean, he's pretty much explaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but then those are my first games and my first like experience of like, I guess multiplayer
I guess multiplayer or what?
or MMORPG.
Yeah, like what made it fun?
Okay, honestly, it would be like PS2 times where it was like the Tekken series, Gran Turismo, and Shenmue. But Shenmue was on Dreamcast.
So what made it fun?
Oh, and the Onimushas. Fuck. Onimushas also. Didn't beat those either. What made it fun? But what made it
No completed games for Solomon.
That's why I have commitment issues. What?
a little sneak peek into your personal life.
But yeah, no. I don't know, because like Gran Turismo was more like, I was competing with my cousin all the time in that game. He showed me this game and I would play it on my own.
Yeah.
And then we go through hours of just like, all right, time attack. I make a time, you beat the time.
Yeah.
And we just keep
So
going.
it's just like the whole competitive aspect of video games. I guess that kind of comes back to to different types of people or different types of experiences they had to video games, which necessarily puts them into that place where they're like, oh, I want to keep coming back, whether it's competitive, whether it's a dope adventure,
Story.
whether it's I like
story.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Whether it's like I like the single player and I love the story. So it's like it just depends on the person that you are. brings you back into the game. I'm sure you guys have your own kind of experiences when it comes to video games too. So let's kind of stray back to the main subject.
Well, before we do that, have you guys played Shenmue?
No, I did not.
Did you play Shenmue?
I know of Shenmue. I haven't played it myself.
How the fuck is that a hella obscure game? I feel like there's like a cult following for that shit.
Like in just that niche.
Yeah, that's what I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how come I played it, but no one else played it?
I've read about it and I've seen like all the reviews on it, and people do follow it. It's a really good single player game with really good like mini games and everything. No, it's just like I haven't found myself the time to just dive back into it really well.
That game, dude, I just bought the remastered version.
You did? For
PS4.
Sick.
And like, it's a lot of time. It's a lot of time.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so which kind of segues us to time. Essentially, like, time is being invested into these video games, which classifies it as, or society classifies it as an addiction because you can't get away. So, having said that, would you guys classify video games as an addiction or not? Like, what do we classify as an addiction? Like, would it be something that you could put down any time, or is it something that you're like, I must play this game?
I think if you feel like you're gonna die if you don't do it, is an addiction.
That's an extreme. That's a super extreme. I would say
that's a literal addiction, though. I feel like
it's
like cigarettes, right? Like, let's say, okay, I smoke cigarettes.
Okay.
Or I don't.
Yeah.
Hold on. But let's say I don't. Okay, theoretically speaking, I'm addicted to cigarettes, right? Theoretically speaking, okay. And I'm like, fucking, I'm a year in the game, and I smoke them every day.
Yeah.
Fucking 3 to 5 a day,
Dang.
right? It's not crazy. That's not that crazy because people like smoke a pack a day.
Yeah.
But if I don't smoke a cigarette in that day, I'm gonna start going crazy. Maybe I'll start getting withdrawals. Maybe I'll be a little bit more aggro and more pissed off.
Yeah. Okay.
That's an addiction.
Okay.
Or you could be like, what's another thing that's fucking hyper addictive? Opioids.
Yeah.
You fucking take that shit every day, then you stop. Guess what? Withdrawals.
Yeah.
You're getting angry.
So there's
there's
like there's specific traits that kind of comes along with addiction. Is essentially what you're saying.
Yeah.
So what is a video game addiction? Like, does people actually have these traits or these withdrawals that comes with if they don't get to play these video games? Or
I think when you said withdrawals, that's actually a really good one because I think a lot of people, they habitually play for maybe, I don't know how many hours.
Dude,
I would say
a whole day. I've done a whole day. I've done a whole day.
I'm guilty. We've definitely all been guilty of playing, more than 8 hours of.
That's
games,
fucking light, dude. 8 hours is light.
No, he's kidding. But but there are people who play it every day, and if they miss a day, they'll definitely feel it in terms of like how it shapes their
like attitude wise, like I'll be angry throughout the day because I didn't get to play my specific video game.
Yeah, say like you had to work overtime, you get home, you're like really tired, and it's like, man, I'm not gonna be able to play today. That sucks. Yeah. And you wake up in the morning, and your next day of work is gonna suck because you're just like, dude, I didn't get to play games yesterday.
Yeah.
And I think
it affects your like outlook essentially of your days or your life.
Yeah, your attitude, your outlook, your mood. The next day will be kind of not
sad.
100%.
Not 100. So like your day isn't 100% complete because you didn't get to play your video game or you didn't get your fix.
Yeah. So fix is a good one because I think essentially people they play every day and like I lost my train of thought. But
why?
Like if you play every day, then you're gonna feel it when you
don't play it because it becomes such a norm. It becomes such a normal thing for you to be doing. Is that it becomes a routine. You know what I mean?
Routine. So, but is that a habit or an addiction?
I think that's what we're trying to get at.
There's like a big gray line right there.
Yeah, so
there's a huge gray line because I mean like I can give a great example that's like borderline obscene. Okay, so I went through a whole point in time, right?
Yeah.
I want to say maybe a month. Month and a half probably, where I jack off and eat, right? So after I jack off, I start getting hungry.
Okay.
No, literally. So after like the first 2 weeks of doing that, like
theoretically,
hypothetically speaking,
for science,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I.
Okay.
So after 2 weeks in, like I wouldn't get hungry throughout the day unless I,
beat it.
You know.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So then, like, it's like I felt like that was like a habit-based thing because when I stopped, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna fucking eat. What's stopping me from eating?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't dying of hunger because I didn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that means
So
it is a habit and like kind of an addiction because your routine is
But I
essentially
play
fucked
some-
up because
Why I
you
play-
didn't do one thing that you were addicted to.
No, I placed one. I guess you could say. No, I placed one involuntary. No, I placed one involuntary response after a controlled one, which is hunger, right?
Mhm.
I placed that right after, so that I guess the brain pathway is.
Oh, okay. So
So
wait,
it's-
essentially,
Yeah.
so what happened was that it was kind of like a trigger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the one thing needed to be done in order for you to do the next.
Yeah,
thing.
you associated two
So yeah, you
separate
associate
things.
two
Right,
separate situations
exactly.
that made it become
Horrible.
kind of like a hand in hand thing. Like hey,
Well,
A hand in hand.
like a hand in hand.
Okay.
Like that things that complement each other. You know what I mean? Like complement each other.
Definitely
like,
does not complement each other, but
I mean,
I
like
see it.
you need one thing to get together. Is what I'm essentially trying to say. And
Yeah,
what happened
yeah.
with Solomon's situation is that is
So
that you
wild.
needed, you know,
That is wild.
That is
I did do
I've
that.
never heard
Though.
of
I'm
that.
not even joking. I did do that.
Okay,
It was
well-
interesting. It was interesting. I don't know why.
well, just to roundabout back to gaming.
Yeah.
Do you think? Well, how about these people that like that would have to game and like, what if those were the triggers for like what would be like the rest of their routine and like, oh, I can't get sleepy unless I play
Yeah,
games. So I can't
yeah,
eat
yeah.
unless I play games. I
yeah.
can't talk to my friends unless I play games. Like
Exactly.
there's things that are tied.
So like social triggers.
I think there's more
Yeah.
involuntary, I guess, brain responses that they haven't addressed that we're just throwing this addiction on top of. Because what about if they have different issues that they haven't worked through, which is the reason why they need this escapism.
Yeah.
Which is the reason why it fucks their day up when they don't do that one thing.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely deeper, but
Yeah.
gaming and gaming addiction can be like on the surface what it leads to,
I
like
think
the
what-
gateway to other things that.
Yeah, here's my thought. I feel like when it comes to going or having a routine or having something that you're so constant with, is that people become comfortable, and comfortability.
What?
Why did you laugh?
I know, I was like, so I just said comfortable.
Okay.
So comfortability is such like a safe haven, or is such a blanket for us, like a comfort
Ooh.
blanket for us. You know what
It's
I mean?
very comfy.
And what happens essentially is that people don't want to leave that comfortability. So people fall for like a routine or something like a fallback plan or something that is constant in their life, whether it's video games, whether it's eating, whether it's like it's things that that people associate themselves with being normal or being
Like them, like
yeah,
being
them
themselves.
being themselves is, you know, that routine or the whole you know, mindset of being constant or doing something every single day because I need to.
Because it's easy.
Because that's
you've done
me.
it all the
Yeah.
time. Well, that's also that means you can just make anything that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think when it becomes an addiction, it really is affecting your work
Your
life,
life.
like your routines, like
Yeah.
you're not getting hungry.
Your dating life.
Yeah,
your-
so like you can't date because you're addicted to one thing.
Yeah.
whether
So
it's-
like what you can't do this because your time is invested in this is essentially, I think that would qualify
that's
as
what
an
addiction is. It's ruining other aspects of your life.
Yeah,
Not
so
ruining,
not-
but like taking away from.
Yeah, not necessarily having a like a physical. Well, I guess it can have a physical effect on you, right? Well, not. But I guess from our standpoint is that it's not necessarily a physical addiction or physical traits that you're gonna have, but it's more of like a commitment trait where your time is being spent into
Yeah.
something, and you can't allocate that time into something else because you've already committed to this one thing, which is video games.
Yeah.
I guess that qualifies as the addiction of, you know, video games, where it's like, oh, I can't leave my game. I need to go
Mom,
eat,
I
leave
can't
my
pause.
game.
It's
Yeah.
an online game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
but
Yeah, essentially that I think qualifies as addiction is when you can't control or where things get out of hand and you can't any hand jokes now, bro.
Yeah.
It's just- so things get out of hand and yeah, and you can't just, you know, sway away from it and
Sway? You don't cut out the answer.
that was not.
You can't.
That was that was
you can't you can't switch it up and do something else with
Yeah.
your time because you're stuck with video games. Is essentially what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But is that more laziness?
Not
Well, I mean,
necessarily.
laziness is probably.
A blanket statement?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's really associated with what we're talking
I mean,
about.
laziness can. I know it's a real thing. You know what I mean? But it also it is.
That comes with comfortability, to be honest.
And it also shows it's kind of like an excuse too. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm hella lazy now right now. You know, I'm just gonna play video games. Whatever.
That's an excuse. Like, just you're addicted to video games,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
Come
So
on,
let's kind of bring it back to the main point. And what are some of the games that you think or say that you've been addicted to or you've had an addiction on? Spending multiple hours playing video games, days, staying up late, blah 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 blah, whatever the case may be. So, what are some of the games that you play, Brent? Because I know you're more of the hardcore gamer.
This is like a spectrum right here, which is kind of funny.
No,
it's kind of like
no, because I'm the least gamer and you're the most gamer. And Isaiah's, well, you're actually high up there.
Yeah, I'm
Go on that side more.
Yeah. So before this podcast, I actually looked it up. What are the different tiers of gamers? So there's obviously casual, and then there's hardcore gamer, right? And then,
but there's only two. There's only two tiers.
That's what I thought, but when I looked it up, there's something they call a mid-core gamer, which is someone that puts 18 hours in a week.
That's a week. I was like daily.
That's daily. I could do that tomorrow.
That's like a week. That's like
no, you get your 18-hour quota tomorrow.
One straight fucking.
So, and then you'd be qualified as a mid-core gamer.
Yeah. So mid-core is like 2 to 3 hours a
Okay.
day, maybe 2 a day, and then like on the weekends they'll play like long stretches. But I consider myself a hardcore gamer because I play maybe 20 hours plus a week.
Ooh, baby.
I would say you're a casual gamer because you would touch it like.
He'd touch it. He'd touch it
like,
before he eats.
He would play. He would play here and there, and then I know I used to play games with Isaiah, so we used to be hardcore.
We used to be hardcore.
Which has
Fortnite, PUBG.
Yeah, Fortnite, PUBG. I was really into
Fortnite.
Destiny.
Destiny
was
Destiny's Child. I love Beyonce.
Yeah. So give us an example of one of the games that you were super addicted to, where you spent tons of hours, dropped tons of time, money into. Oh, we didn't even talk about the aspect.
We'll talk about that. But right now it's a time investment.
Yeah.
But right now I'm playing Monster Hunter, and that takes hours to just play and just invest, grinding your character up. And I think something that'll be more relatable are MMORPGs like World of Warcraft. Final Fantasy 14. Those are like MMOs that you have to invest because they give you daily quests, they give you weekly quests, and you have to log in as much as you can. For anybody that's like more on the casual side, I would say MapleStory is probably like one of those games.
Going way back, MapleStory, man.
MapleStory is like I want to wake up and play MapleStory. I'm gonna fall asleep playing MapleStory. It's those are time investments.
So like my very first game that I played that I thought was addicted to was actually MapleStory. Back in like the middle school days.
Definitely.
Like freshman in high school or something like that.
I know some people that still play it like today.
Well, they need to go jump off a building.
I wouldn't say that.
But yeah, MapleStory was definitely fun. It was kind of like an intro for myself to get into the whole MMO scene of video games, which I truly enjoyed. Like I definitely love MapleStory for that. It was casual enough for a kid like me to kind of comprehend what an MMO is and how an economy works, like trading and finding items and things like that. That was definitely one of the bigger games that kind of shaped my gaming career. So I want to give a shout out to MapleStory next time. Thank you guys. I love you.
Thanks for taking my money, man.
Thanks for taking my allowances when I was a kid. I wouldn't eat lunch.
I would not
because I would buy NX Cash.
NX Cash.
Yeah.
That cash.
I used to stop by at 7
I hate MapleStory.
But yeah, MapleStory is a good
Why don't you
example.
play Harvest Moon?
I do play Harvest Moon.
Stop playing Harvest Moon.
Well, anyways, are there any games that you were recently addicted to, or I mean not addicted to, but like putting a lot of time in?
Yeah. Okay. So I think I mentioned it. It was Destiny. Destiny 1. I put tons of hours into Destiny 1. But at that time, I was definitely into shooters, like Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, like Black Ops, all that stuff. And when Bungie announced that they were gonna drop Destiny 1, which was the best of both worlds for me, I felt like it was gonna be a shooter and an MMO, both hands. And then all of a sudden, I was like, man, like this is definitely my dream game. So I put tons of hours into Destiny. It was late nights of grinding for those exotics.
Hey, Brian.
B12 gaming.
B12 gaming.
Those exotics, and then
how many hours did you play in the Crucible?
I was more, to be honest with you, I was super deep into the Crucible. I was super
Killing
into the
book?
PvP. I
No.
wanted to be.
Oh,
The PvP.
he's
I
talking
wanted.
about
I know.
Crucible
Crucible
the
book.
book.
Yeah.
Burn the witches.
I was super into the
God.
whole competitive aspect, and I think if I
Proctor.
thinking about it now, like the whole. We were talking about those competitive traits, which goes back to like Mario Kart. You know what I mean? Being competitive. Like I think
Well,
that shaped.
You need to address the
my
whole
dream career.
bullshit in Crucible though, because they're pairing up fucking level thousands with level ones fresh off the boat, and then guess what? They got some crazy ass hand cannons, and I
Yeah.
step in there with a
We're-
fucking.
that's
we're
right.
starting to hit
That's
25
true.
minutes.
That's true.
Who cares about time? We fucking here, we out here.
As a casual gamer, Saul, are there
Yeah.
any games that you feel like you invest time into?
Oh, now or like at any time in
No,
my life?
well, recently now.
Recently, okay. UFC 2
Mhm.
and UFC 1. Oh.
But do you?
So what's funny is the Salmon's the game. Well, I don't know if it's funny, but like the games that Salman is mentioning, it goes back to his origins. You know what I mean? He was always up to the
But
beat
I
'em ups.
love
and
Gran Turismo too, so I play it quite a
Driving
bit
games,
also.
But I think you were always into cars too. You
Yeah,
know?
I
like
was always into
cars was like your thing.
True.
To growing up, like
Yeah.
you were definitely exposed, especially your cousin. I know
Yeah.
you look up to him a lot, and he was definitely into cars. Shout out to Taser. What's Gucci Gang?
Thanks, sis.
Yeah, so you looked up to him, so like cars was the thing, and
True.
and you kind of took that whole looking up to someone and transferred it into your hobby, which is video games.
True. Well, here's the thing though. Gran Turismo is not exactly an easy game to play, and I suck at all games
Yeah.
except UFC, right?
Yeah.
I'm like mediocre in most.
Yeah.
UFC, I'm still mediocre. There's levels. Anyway, Gran Turismo, I'm actually really fucking good at Gran Turismo. I don't care if
I
you guys are
believe it.
gamers.
I
I don't care if
believe
you guys are gamers. I'll beat everybody. I'll beat
That's
everybody.
Time Attack.
Yeah. Would you
I'll
say
beat
you were
everybody.
addicted to Gran Turismo?
Yes, I was addicted. So at the same time, like I
Uh-huh.
would switch in between Gran Turismo, Tekken, and Shenmue on like for hours.
Yeah.
Just those specific 3 games.
Yeah. So not
Funny thing, I used to listen to the U's while I was playing Gran Turismo. Tasted ink
You know
for
what's
fucking
really cool
5
about
hours.
what's really cool about like the whole car games and the whole like Gran Turismo and Forza.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like I had an Xbox and I was kind of into the car scene growing up too, and Xbox lets you import your music. Into,
Oh, yeah,
Oh yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
And
My
I was
music,
like-
my music.
I was it was like my music, and I'm like driving my dream car, and then I'm playing my tunes,
Hey.
playing my jams. I'm like, yeah, I'm
Taking them
dope.
turns,
I'm
baby.
like, yeah, I'm
You're
dope.
fucking dope, bro.
Yeah. I'm dope. I'm dope, bro. So
Like
like,
I just drive it
I think that's
go.
really cool about the whole like escapism in video games. It makes you feel really good, or it puts you into that scene or the place where you are.
Yeah.
You definitely immerse
Immersion.
yourself.
Yeah.
You immerse yourself with the video games, the environment, and your surroundings, which is great.
100%.
And like,
But it's bad if you want to be in a game like Skyrim for your real life.
Well, MMOs and RPGs kind of let you make a character, put yourself in there. That is literally a
Yeah.
statement.
No, I know, but I'm just saying,
That's-
like, I'd want to...
like a new life.
Yeah,
essentially.
That's
is
what you want your
happens.
life to be? Because I fucking would. But I'm just saying, it's not good. It's not good.
It's not, because it has the whole addicting aspect to it. It has that lure of I could be somebody else besides who I am in the real world.
Well, actually, no, because I'd make my character specifically like myself in that game.
Which is
Shout out to Hammerfell. Red
yeah,
Guards all
but that's
day.
that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't go and forge a freaking sword or like
but you can.
Don't tempt me. Cause
right now, like without the skills or you know.
Bro, how hard is it? I melt down fucking metal.
Can you
I
kill
get
a dragon?
Yeah.
Are you Dragonborn?
You
Yes.
can't armbar a dragon.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. We wouldn't know. we wouldn't be able to tell.
He's like a little T-Rex. He has his little T-Rex
Yeah,
on. Like, this is
yeah,
easy.
yeah.
It's like, all right.
I don't know what
Yeah.
dragons do. Okay.
Well, Komodo dragons are the only
But that's the
dragons we
thing,
got.
Salman. Like, here's the thing. Like, you make your character like you in a game, but you're not necessarily. You're in a different environment. You're a different race or whatever. And you're doing different kind of role plays, and not something that you would necessarily do in real life.
True, but in any game where you can like create your own character, what I like to do is make literally as much as I can of myself in that character.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a different thing.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. And
like,
that goes back to immersion. Like it helps you become immersed into the whole video game, and it makes like escape realism. So it goes back to the argument of like, yeah, because the character is like you. I'm in this new environment. I'm exploring. I'm having an adventure. Which is awesome.
That's true. That's true. I was trying to get an argument in there, but now I just kind of lost what I was trying to say with that.
Just because I beat you.
Hey. All right, here we go. Okay.
No.
You okay? You want to say that? Okay, so.
No, I'm just kidding.
Escapism.
I'm just kidding.
It's not exactly escapism if I want to go there.
Here's
if I'm already there in my mind, okay? Because I'm there. I'm a fucking barbarian.
So here's kind of what our
Get off your phone.
He's just looking at his notes.
Yeah.
He's looking at his notes. So at the end of it, our conclusion when it comes to video game addiction, is it would it be? I know we talked about it a little bit on the pre-screen when we were talking about just random stuff and eating.
You can watch the BTS if you want. Put that up there.
We were talking about would it be something like a person as a question to you is. Would you be able to put down a video game that you're addicted to now, whenever, and like stop playing it for, a month or so? Like, is that?
So I'm pretty aware that I do invest a lot of time into like the games I do play.
Time and money.
Time and money, but it's hard. Like, of course, I can put it down and like do something for the weekend, hang out with my friends.
Exactly.
But some people can't do that. They literally like
Can you do that?
I can.
Yeah.
I personally can. I can drop a game for a weekend.
Why would you?
Okay. So here's my question to you: can you drop it for a month? Like I know you're super into Monster Hunter right now. Would it be or like Street Fighter, or like Super Smash?
Yeah.
Or like.
Oh, you guys play Smash?
No. So or Dragon Ball? Would you be able to drop all of those games at like cold turkey and be like, I'm not gonna play any video games for a month?
I can. It'll be hard. I'm not that addicted, but there's so much new content that's coming out from Monster Hunter, and I need to be there for that. But if I had to, and there was a really good reason for me to, then I would.
For $1,000.
$1,000
for 5 years.
It's just
for 5. No, it's definitely not worth. But I can. If I had a really good incentive. But as of right now, it's one of my like defining hobbies as I am.
I thought you say divine.
Yeah, divining.
Divining power.
But it really is part of who I am, and like I lose a big part of who I am
without video games.
Without video games, yeah.
Okay, like right now for me at least, I'm not really playing any games. I know I played Destiny 2 for a little bit. I was kind of addicted to it for 2 or 3 months when the new content dropped. But now I'm just chill because like I said, I was more into the whole PvP aspect and the competitiveness. So I'm good. I think I am Gucci. I am not addicted to video games, but I can be. But
that's the thing though. It's like I think you're not addicted situationally because there hasn't been new content for Destiny 2. But once Destiny 2, say Destiny 2 drops new content and then Brian and then Randy and everybody on our Discord's like
shout out to Brian and Randy.
Yeah, they'll be like, "Hey, new content dropped you on," and then they'll be like,
and
then you can't give it up because
exactly.
It's a situation
I think for me, the whole one of the traits or something that makes me drawn into video games or become addicted to video games is playing with friends or the social aspect of playing video games.
No one wants to play my games though.
That's what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
That's what I'm saying. No, you're not friends.
I'm just kidding. It feels less like an addiction when you have people around you who all do the same thing.
Exactly.
And you have a community.
And if it's like your close friends or people that you grew up with, it's literally like hanging out in like a different era or a different world, which is dope. I truly enjoy playing video games with the social aspect of it.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. But.
What, Solomon? But what?
Oh, never mind.
Okay.
Okay. So just to round about everything, me and Ace, I would think we would consider ourselves hardcore gamers. Probably not right now because Destiny 2 didn't drop any content.
No, I mean I'm a hardcore gamer. But like you said,
you can drop it anytime.
I can drop it anytime.
So you're not addicted.
I'm not addicted.
And then I would say Solomon.
Solomon's definitely a dirty casual for sure.
Yeah, he's a filthy casual. I don't know how.
See me in Gran Turismo though.
Yeah, probably.
Now that you say that, I'm actually afraid to like face you against right now
because I don't say that in any games.
Yeah.
Or Initial D, but Initial D kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And I think, just companies would have a hard time with Solomon because he's casual, like, oh, just pick up the game here and there, and then.
True. There has to be something super enticing because I have a very, I guess, specific set of skills that only work in certain places.
Yeah.
Like, I like driving, so when I play fucking Blackout on fucking Call of Duty,
A little background about
fucking drive around in the game.
A little background about Salman. He likes driving. Driving is his profession in real life.
Yeah, and he's a professional driver.
He's a professional driver, NASCAR.
I'm not gonna take left turns.
Yeah, so like, so yeah, dude, and that's what's kind of like, now that you point that out, I see like these video game origins or like the things that you bring into the videos. Like it is you and it's your personality.
It really is.
It's so crazy. It's so dope. Yeah.
So I'm living in games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you say? Would you say you guys are living in your games? Or no?
Kind of. I'm not a dragon killing.
You're not a dragon
No.
slayer.
Super
fuck
Saiyan.
my.
And then you like skin them and they turn their stuff into armor.
Yeah, that shit's fun, dude. Fucking yeah.
I don't do that.
No, he doesn't.
Can.
Fashion hunter though.
But
Fashion.
but no, but like if you're like Monster Hunter, like how you play Monster Hunter, or how you play like fucking the other game you play, fucking
Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm saying? Like those games, like do you guys have the same thing where you put yourself into the game, or is it just kind of fucking playing and just super into everything?
Not necessarily for me. For fighting games or like brawlers, I don't put myself into it.
Or your MMORPG games.
Yeah. No,
but
Dragon.
Yeah.
I mean, Monster Hunter. I definitely make my character.
Being immersed.
For you, it's like, what does your Destiny character look like?
He's definitely Asian.
Yeah. It's
Well,
just
not
like,
just
I'm dope and I want to do dope shit. That's my character. That's Destiny, right?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, like you guys still kind of do the same shit to your personality into the fucking game. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so
that's definitely 100%
so
immersion.
let's do this. Let's kind of let's come up with a conclusion. Is video game an addiction? Yes or no? Like, would you consider it as yes or no?
I'll probably touch on it last because I have like a lot.
All right,
of things
so I'm gonna say no, only because I'm not gonna put it up there with heroin.
I'm gonna say.
I got that from you.
Okay,
You gave a great example earlier about
But
heroin.
that's such a horrible
like
a bad comparison. That's like, gaming addiction, is it real? Yes or no? It's not heroin, but like, is it real? Gaming addiction, will it affect life? This is just your opinion. It's not heroin. You're just thinking about heroin the whole time. I can see it.
So I think. So my thought is no. So if like what you said earlier is if it starts to affect your life negatively, whether it's like you lose your house, you lose your like your girlfriend, or like you lose your job because of it, then yeah, it's an addiction. But other than that, I don't think video games are an addiction.
But
Not
you just stated examples of people losing relationships and houses and money.
So I guess it can be an addiction.
But hold on a second though. If it's
Oh yes, it is
self-inflicted. If it's self-inflicted, is that really like something that's uncontrollable because you do it to yourself essentially?
Yeah, but aren't all addicts doing it to themselves also by smoking cigarettes and doing heroin? Is that self-inflicted?
And it's like,
but
the
that
beginning,
doesn't.
the beginning
But-
is, but then everything after that is something that's uncontrollable.
But
Chemical addictions like heroin.
Yeah, but they did it to themselves, and it's an addiction, and they got to that point because it was self-inflicted. But that doesn't say that the addiction's not there.
Let me make a retort here.
Okay.
So I think video games is an addiction. Now that you point that out, the
How is that fence you're sitting on?
Self-infliction. You know what I mean, and something that you can control because, when people have addictions, it becomes a part of them, or it becomes something that. Like it becomes like a reflex or something that they have no control over because they're so immersed or they're so deep into a hole that they can't get out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I see what you were trying to say. You were trying to say I, myself, like Isaiah, I'm not addicted because I could just drop it at any time.
Exactly.
But
I myself, Isaiah, is not
You
addicted to video
can
games.
too, Brent.
But when you said that, you gave the example of just the relationships in the house. Like people have done that. People have like sold their house for WoW subscriptions, and like it's become real.
Yeah.
So on
that standpoint, then I guess it is.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
just
so
from
I
I feel strongly that gaming
Nothing
is an addiction, and I think people do spiral out of control because of the games, and I think companies actually make money off people that like want to pay for DLC, they want to pay for subscriptions, they want to pay for microtransactions just so they can like have their female character wear less, or if they want their guy to look dope and do dope shit, people will pay for that shit. And like kids are asking their parents for money, like, mom, let me get $100 so I can get this fucking dance on Fortnite, and that you can lose your house like that. Yeah, I'm saying addiction is real. I myself am lightweight addicted because I have to play. And it really does, like, I'll think about it at work, I'll think about it when I'm doing other things. But I will not spiral out of control. I will not sell my house. I will not.
Yeah, so I guess I will fall into the gaming is an addiction thing because Brent is right. You know, it's affected, it's real, and it's affected tons of people, you know, negatively. Like whether it's losing a house or, you know, financially, you know, socially, you know, whatever the case may be. Like you do need to seek for help to get out of it because you know you're such in a deep rut. And in video games, like here's the thing, like when things are on fire, you go back to the things that make you comfortable or that make you feel great. And that whole aspect of it is you go back to video games because you escape your troubles, you escape your problems, and you know, and that doesn't help because it doesn't make you face the real issues in life, which is your house is going away, your girlfriend just broke up with you, you're losing your job, you know what I mean? So it is an addiction, and yeah.
I still say
don't lose control.
But
I still say
I can see why you say no, because like games aren't marketed towards you anymore.
No, there are games that are marketed towards me specifically. Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, but like
you know what I mean?
they're not there to keep you playing 18 hours a week.
Correct.
Like
if there would be a game, and I probably would be on a game. Okay, if there was a game, right? Let's say there was. I'd probably fucking sit there for 18 hours a week on that, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think it would go to the point to where it's like I'm gonna fuck up all the portions of my life for like this game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I don't see there being too much of a, I guess, incentive to fuck my shit up. Because like, all right, if I'm gonna keep buying all these extra DLCs, right? It's like, well,
Wayne, take a shot. But
so,
I think you're being very subjective. Like I think you're thinking from your point of view that you will not be addicted.
Yeah.
But you're by saying I will not be addicted.
But it's a
real
real
thing.
It's
like
a real issue.
there's real people that like I will not say his name, but someone has spent like thousands of dollars on a mobile game.
Yeah.
Because they were addicted to it. Like literally, they put $1,000. This is someone we know. Personally.
Right, no, I know, but I'm just saying, isn't that just lack of like self-control versus addiction?
Yeah, but lack of self-control leads to addiction.
Yeah.
I think that's just lack of self-control. Not addiction.
I know there's two separate
because
things.
I adhere to the whole. I see that as being a habit. I don't see that as being an actual addiction. An actual addiction, I feel like, is something that's chemically induced in your brain that you need this.
But wouldn't the whole feel good aspect, doesn't that release like endorphins in your brain?
Well, because you like what you're playing.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, but sure.
Of course it is because like for example, a great example would be you're losing your house, you're financially stressed, right? But because of this video game, so you're gonna go back to this video game because you know it's gonna make you feel good, and
it's not gonna make you feel good. It's gonna make you forget. It's a big difference.
Yeah,
feel
good by forgetting it.
No, that's not gonna make you feel good. You're just gonna not think about it. So
but you're saying as in you don't agree. You don't agree with that, but you're not saying that it is a real thing. People have done this.
Yeah. So you're basically.
I'm still arguing the definition of what an addiction is. What I'm saying, because I don't agree to actually being an addiction. I just see it as being lack of self-control. I see it.
But can you come up with, or can you agree with us that it's an actual thing and it's, you know, it happens?
Yeah, it happens, but we have to talk about the reason why. I can't just say that. Yeah, I agree, because it just sounds like I am agreeing. You know what I'm saying? And I know exactly.
You got him. We got him. We already got him. No. That's 3 yeses.
He said yes.
Here's the thing, though. If I say yes to gaming addiction to be actually addiction, that's like me saying that obesity is literally a disease because you literally kill yourself by eating too much.
But
I don't agree with that either.
But that's addiction to food.
But that's addiction.
Yeah, it's addiction to food, but that's stupidity though. That's not really like a disease.
But
it's stupidity straight up.
But here's the thing though,
you know what I'm saying?
Like what Brent was saying, you are speaking for yourself. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
okay, so in the word of stupidity, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you're not addicted to cigarettes. That's just stupidity. That's what you're saying.
Yes, that is stupidity.
So there is cigarette addiction.
But is it an addiction though? It's
Yes!
but it is an addiction. That's actually an addiction, though.
Yeah, and then gaming can actually be an addiction just because there's no nicotine that you fucking hit the controller with.
There's
Like,
no chemical that you need.
There's no,
that makes sense.
there's no cigarette. There's no like a cigarette that makes you every time you win, you know.
Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like there's real
nicotine.
feelings and there's real chemicals in
Yeah, so I think
I guess we could just argue
in general
another time.
we kind of
This is a
have
good
like a one direction of.
Don't say we're One Direction. I swear to God.
Two of us are in the one direction of
I agree
that
with
addictions do exist and
Well, no shit.
addictions.
exist.
I mean, gaming addictions do exist, but yeah, Solomon is kind of on the train of self
It
control.
does that. It's stupidity and it's lack of self-control.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
it's not addiction. It's not gaming addiction. Gaming addiction doesn't exist. Just your own stupidity.
Yeah. Because you're gonna buy the DLCs.
All right, well, that wraps it up for episode.
And I'm gonna
2
buy the food because I'm actually obese.
of Post Thought. Guys, I appreciate you guys for watching or sticking through for the whole entire thing. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and we will see you guys next time on episode.
If you see us, because I might overfeed myself and die.
Peace.